So Anton and Belle had their interview with Heat World magazine, and they were spilling some major tea what takes place in the villa that we have no idea about. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, please do click that button, subscribe to my channel, subscribe. Click that button for daily and consistent, constant content. And do follow me on my Instagram, Murad_Murali. I'd really appreciate it as well. So if you guys don't know what Heat World magazine are, Heat World, or they have a YouTube channel where they regularly bring in the Love Islanders and the ex-Islanders and contestants and from past seasons and current seasons, and they interview them as well as the recently dumped Islanders as well. So we had Anton and Belle who had their turn to go under the duvet. It's a kind of style where they sit back and relax and they really discuss their time in the villa and what else takes place. But they were also spilling some interesting tea as well, where they first explained that Ovi was actually allowed to leave the villa. Now this in itself I do find quite interesting, because I feel like the producers are very strenuous on who can leave and who couldn't leave. But the story behind this is that Ovi was continuously pressing on the fact that he wanted to play basketball. He wanted to play basketball. He wanted to maintain his training because he is an important basketball player on the UK team. So he really wanted to play and continue on his training. And if you have a gym to train, why can't you train if it's your profession? Which I feel like is a good point. And the producers at first weren't very keen on it. They couldn't give him a place. They didn't know what to do. And they finally caved in and obviously gave him his own little basketball place outside the villa where he could go temporarily whenever he needed to go and play. Now again, for people who like sports, especially if it's your profession, it also could be your muse to kind of just calm down, get your head out the villa, head out the space, and help you kind of continue on even from a mental perspective as well as a physical. So I do feel like that was definitely a good advantage for Ovi to have, to kind of get his head away from the villa. The fact that he was allowed to leave as well temporarily whenever he wanted to was kind of nice as well, to try and train up on his work. I'm going to get straight to the tea. I'm going to give it to you direct, quick, efficient, none of this chasing around the bush, and obviously end the video in a quick 5-6 minutes. We also then had Belle, who was spilling some tea on the fact that Maura is actually very demanding. She needs something all the time, and we're not really surprised by this because obviously she was somebody who was definitely very boisterous. She goes on to say, Maura, she's a bit demanding, and Mrs. Belle, she needs a cigarette, she's always demanding for something, she's always moaning. Curtis. Anton and Belle also disclosed that the cast actually regularly got McDonald's deliveries, a confession that will satisfy eagle-eyed fans who actually took to Twitter during the run to point out tubs of McFlurries that were left in the shop. We had a few of them, we needed that, Belle admitted. I think it was about once a week they got deliveries or something that you guys were getting them. Anton added, I had a few chicken nuggets here and there, but I was trying to watch my weight. On a more serious note, Anton actually weighed in on the friction between him and Molly May after he followed her on Instagram. Me and Molly just don't click, but at the end of the day, she's a lovely girl, there's no bad blood, he said. It is what it is, which is obviously, the famous kind of saying that Sheree obviously brought to Love Island. Now, I feel like I'm very glad that he dressed that Molly May stuff and he kept it very cute. He wasn't adding more mess to it. He wasn't being a bit more shady about it. He just kept it as it is, and he said, you know what, she's a lovely girl, we don't get on, it is what it is, but he really left it to bed. But throughout this interview, they definitely were spilling a lot of tea, whether it be the fact that they'd get a lot of food deliveries coming from outside the villa, the fact that some of these contestants were allowed to go outside the villa whenever they wanted to, and the fact that some contestants were very demanding, a bit OTT, and they were very annoying, and it was a bit too much, and Maura being one of them. I'm not really surprised because we already know her to be somebody who's very boisterous and quite fiery and can be also quite aggressive. Tea spilled here and there, X, Y, and Z. I didn't really expect him to brush on this Molly May topic still. I feel like it's now being kind of stretched out now, and I feel like it's a bit boring now. Get over it, over and done with it. Like, it's just a bit too much. So what if somebody unfollowed somebody? Like, just stop talking about it now. It's getting a bit boring, and hopefully this will be my last video in relation to that whole situation because I'm over it now. But let me know what your thoughts are on their interview. I did one with the Yuandes and Danny and Jordan because both of those seem to be somewhat interesting. So I thought I would do the same one for this because a few tea here and there has been spilled. So let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Do subscribe, please. Click that button for daily consistent content. Follow me on my Instagram, Murad_Murali. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.